Good morning, children. Today we are starting notice writing from your syllabus. Now just see what are we going to write? What are we going to follow when we write down a notice? First of all, we have to follow the format of notice. The format which is there, which you have to maintain in order to write down a notice. I will be explaining you all that format. Next, we will be doing an example of a notice from your book. I will be showing you all how to write down a notice in the example. You will get it in your book and it will be very easy for you all to note it down in your copy. The third that we are going to discuss is various topics. We are going to discuss on various topics on which we are going to write down notices. And the fourth, what we are going to do today is an exercise. Now exercises I will give you all for your homework. You all have to solve those exercises and send it to me in Google Classroom. I shall check it up and return it back to you in time. Okay, children? So, first of all, going for the format of notice writing. Here is the format. Just see what is written up there. Read the following sample notice. This is given in your book. If you follow your book to page number 225, you can find it there. Now just see, write a notice on behalf of the principal of MNM School informing the staff and students about the annual sports meet. Now, this is the topic on which we are going to write down the notice. Okay? Yes. So, here I have given a tick. This one is the topic on which we are going to write down the notice. Now, coming down. This is the format by which we write notices. Okay? Now first, what do we have? The first thing which you have to follow is notices always contain a box there. Okay? And within the box, we have to write everything. Now here, for you to understand properly, the notice has been made in different boxes. But when we write, we have to write it in one single box. Now, what does the first box contain? Just see here. Issuing authority. So, on the top, what we will write? The authority who is issuing the notice. So, on the top here, it's written MNM High School, Kathmandu. When we supply a notice for our school, when we give a notice for the students of our school, on the top what will we write? The name of our school, Techno India Group Public School. Now down, the next on the left hand side, the date. Just see here I have marked for you. Left hand side, the date. What is the date given here? Just see here. 2nd December 20. Then there is a gap. So whenever you write down the notice, you are going to write down the date of that day. So this is what is about date. Now next, coming down. we have got heading. So what does the heading contain? Just see here, I'll give a tick there. Our heading contains the word notice with down written what are you issuing the notice for. So here now our notice is issued for an annual sports meet. So we are going to write that. Our heading is notice regarding annual sports meet. Now the body of the notice. What does the body of the notice contain? Just see, I'll scroll it down a little. Just see here. What does the body of the notice contain? The organizer who's organizing the the event. Then next is the purpose of the event. The next is the event. What is the event which is going to happen? Next come the occasion, on which occasion such an event is going to happen. And then we have to mention the date, time and venue of the event. So these 5 points are the must which we have to write in our notice. I shall just read the notice for you which I have sent you all here. It will be very clear to you where you will find the organizer, the purpose, the event, the occasion and also the date, time and venue. Now just see. Teachers, non-teaching staff and students are hereby notified that the annual sports meet of the school will be held on 21st December on the ground adjacent to the district magistrate's office. Students willing to take part in different events are requested to submit their names, mentioning their roll numbers, class and section to the games teacher by 12th of December. Students of class 9 and 10 are requested to assist the games teacher in organizing the meet as volunteers. Those participating in the events from class 9 and 10, however, are exempted from the volunteering work. So from here, what do we come to know from the body of the notice? Just see here, we come to know the organizer. We come to know the purpose of the notice. We come to know the event which is being mentioned in the notice. Then the occasion when the notice is being written down. And the date, time and venue when the notice is being issued for the teachers and the students. So this is what which is very clear from the notice which has been given to us. Now the name and designation of the person issuing the notice, that should be given down there. So what do we find? The name and designation of the person issuing the notice? Mr. S.N. Pradhan, Principal. So this is what we come to know about notice writing. A very clear idea, I hope, has been given to you from this notice. If you all go through this notice twice, you all will be able to write down a notice yourself. So children, this much from an example of a notice which is given in your book. Now coming down, just let's see what I have sent you. See here. Before writing a notice, you should know why you are writing a notice. What is a notice? So just see here. A notice is a public announcement made by a person or an organization in writing to inform the people concerned within the organization about some activity, meeting, or allotment of duty. Rules and regulations. All these are notified through a notice. Now see, the following rules are to be maintained while writing a notice. So what are the rules that is written in your book? We have to follow those. I have said y'all, but still we will go through the rules which are given in your book. Just see the first one. A notice is usually written in the third person. For some notices, you may use the first or second person. But avoid using the first person singular number. That is, if you have to use the person, use the plural form. That is we. So, just see here. A notice is usually written in the third person. For some notices, you may use the first or the second person. But avoid using the first person singular. That is I. You have to avoid that. If you have to use the first person, use the plural form of it. That is we. I hope it's clear to you. When we say we, the people of here, this in this school, notify the students that, then we are using we. Here if we use I, it will not be proper. Now the second rule. A notice is usually written in the passive voice. We generally do not use an active voice in case of a notice. Just see the notice which is written on the top. Just see here. When I show you all, just see here, teachers, non-teaching staff and students are hereby notified. So what do we find here? That it is in passive voice. Okay. Now coming down. The third part. A notice must contain the name of the organization and its address, the reference number if any, the date, the name and designation of the signatory at the end. So what does a notice contain? A must to be contained. That is the name of the organization which is here given. Just see when I scroll up, what is the name of the organization given here? Yes, see here, the name of the organization which is given here is MNM High School and the address given is Kathmandu. So this is a must in case of writing down a notice. Okay. Now the second part. What do we need? The reference number if any. If we have got any reference number referring to which the notice is being sent to everybody, then we need to give the reference number. Then comes the date. The date, where do we get the date? Just see here when I move up, let me show you all. Just after the issuing authority, down there on the left hand side. Okay. Here comes the date. Now coming down again. What do we find here? The name and the designation of the signatory. This comes at the end of the notice. Just see here the designation and the name of the person issuing the notice. So hope you all have understood. No problem here. Okay. S.N. Pradhan, principal. He is issuing the notice for his students. So coming down, just see here the next part. A notice must not be too long. Whatever we want to say must be completed in a simple and short language. Okay. So a notice must not be too long. All of you are to keep in note that a notice cannot be too long. And then the next part. A notice must be simple and concise, carrying brief but relevant information. What does this mean? The notice must be written in a simple language so that every child understands, every person understands. And concise means, in short, it should carry the total thing which is to be said to everybody. And carrying brief but relevant information. Carrying in brief but relevant information about our notification. What we want to notify the people should be given there as an information in the notice section. Okay, that's a must. So a notice, I just give a take there. Just see, a notice must be simple and concise, carrying brief but relevant information. The tone of a notice must be impartial and formal, but never rude and arrogant. A notice must contain complete information. That is, who is the informer, who is being informed, and what is the expected action from the addressee. A notice must contain complete information. What is the information we need within? Who is the informer? Who is notifying everybody? Who is being informed? That means when we are informing you all, who is being informed? The teachers and the students of the school are getting informed. And what is the expected action from the addressee? What do we expect from you all from your side? The last part, see. I'll just give a tick there. A notice is usually written within a box. This I said when I started my explanation. A notice is usually written within a box. Many of you have sent me notices beforehand without a box. I told you all that if you write your notice without a box, your marks might be reduced. So please be careful, children. This is a very important rule that a notice is usually written within a box. Now this is all what I wanted to show you all. Just see here. When I move up, just see here what are the topics I wanted to cover up in my video. Your format, an example of a notice. The topic which I am discussing today, that is notice writing, and exercises. Now I'll be getting ready with the exercises and I'll send it to you in Google Classroom. Please solve it up and send me the answers in Google Classroom in return. Okay, children? Thank you.